Hello and welcome to a special 43rd minute review show. We don't have time to bring you our normal big full review show today because we have been going through a transition period with the 43rd minute, which is taking up a lot of our time. But I thought in the meantime we would discuss some of our biggest pet peeves about the world of film today. So, to coincide with the release of The House at the End of the Street, which came out yesterday in cinemas, we will be discussing horror. And the problems with horror nowadays. Now, the first thing that I want to discuss, because I saw a trailer earlier on today which upset me quite a lot, and that was the trailer for Texas Chainsaw 3D. I don't even know what to say about it because, one, there's already been a remake of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and this is not a remake of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. This is just a later on of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It ticks all of the boxes of horror film cliches, a lot of which we'll discuss in a minute. But the first thing that pisses me off about horror films is just there is too much reuse of old material. There's so many writers out there, so many interesting stories out there that are all waiting to be made into brilliant films. So why is it necessary to just go back over old ground? The thing with horror is you have to understand that it's scary for the time that it's released. Back in the day, anybody who's seen Dracula or Nosferatu, that really terrified people back in the day. But nowadays, that is a PG to us because of just the way time progresses. You can't have like Jason, Freddy, Michael Myers, all of them were scary for the time that they were released. They were terrifying to people. Freddy scared people to go to made people afraid of going to sleep.
Whatever you do, don't fall asleep.
No! Jason scared people from going camping.
You're doomed. You're all doomed.
Must be my imagination.
And Michael scared people around Halloween.
Halloween.
Now that all was terrifying back in the day, but it's not anymore because people have seen slasher movies a million times. When there's been a film that parodies slasher films, Scream, and it's brilliant by the way, and then there's a film that parodies Scream, you know that it's too late to go back over old ground. So please, 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 after, I know that it's not going to happen, but please, after Texas Chainsaw 3D, can we please stop rebooting or reusing old amazing horror films? They make me very sad. That would be lovely. Now, the problem with the Texas Chainsaw 3D is also that it fills too many of the boxes of cliches. The same can be said for House at the End of the Street. Now, one of those cliches is the girl running around the house in the white vest or tank top or just in a bra or anything. Now, that annoys me because there is no need for it. I don't know anybody who runs around in a white vest all the time, especially not when getting attacked. It seems very impractical. But that's annoying, the bimbo sort of aspect of it. Another annoying thing is the jock. There's always a jock. He's always a dickhead. There's no need to have him in there. It's just ticking a cliche box. It's filling a character slot. Another thing is the bumbling cop that runs in and accidentally gets himself killed. And it always happens. And I mean, what was in Scream, was it like Dewey or something, like the cop, and he's like a joke version of all those cops who get killed in previous films. And the fact is that he survives, and that's kind of how they kind of rip it off, and they sort of and they make quite funny joke out of it. Now, that's the cliche. There's always the cliche jokes. And a brilliant horror film that came out recently made a parody of that. And that was The Cabin in the Woods. And it is fantastic. Joss Whedon, of Avengers fame and Buffy and Angel and things like that, made an unbelievably well scripted film. And it was exciting, it was funny, it had its scary moments, and it really took the mick out of the reuse and the cliched horror film storytelling. And the final, and so that is my second big pet peeve, is the cliche. Too many cliches. The final thing I want to talk about in terms of annoying things from American horror is the twist. Now, everybody loves a good twist. When it's done well, and it has been done really well in the past, you get a really exciting moment in cinema where you can genuinely say, I didn't see that coming.
I am the father. No.
That's the whole point in a twist. It's to give you something that you didn't see coming. So when, on the House at the End of the Street's poster, there's the tagline, a twist that you'll never see coming, it defeats the purpose of there being a twist. Because as soon as you mention it, you see the twist coming, obviously. And if you can peg the twist right at the start, like Gemma did, you can... it just ruins the whole film. And I don't mean that there was much of a film to ruin in House at the End of the Street, but it ruins the whole film and it is completely unnecessary. There is no need to say, oh, there's a twist. It's probably to just entice people to what is genuinely a very boring film. And it's like with M. Night Shyamalan. You watch his films. After 2 films have a twist in it, everybody expects a twist in the rest of them. And there always is. And they're progressively more and more crap.
It's plants. Plants.
Plants, 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 plants.
What if it is the plants?
You think it could be plants?
So, when you have a twist, don't tell people about it. When you have a story, make sure it's a good one. When you write characters, make sure they're not cliched. Do not make horror films in 3D just for the sake of it. And please, 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 leave characters, classic characters, alone. You're just money making and grinding. Please leave them alone, Hollywood. Please go out there and find some amazing writers and bring us back some really good horror films. We'll go and watch them, we promise. And then you can rip them off and make sequels of them too. Okay, so now is the review section. Today we are reviewing House at the End of the Street. Oh, yay! Jennifer Lawrence from Hunger Games. She's in another film. Woo! This film was crap. Gemma thought this film was crap. We both thought this film was crap. It was just half the audience thought it was crap. 2 people started bursting out laughing when they heard the twist at the end. And so yes, down to the grading for this film. I'm sorry I have rambled probably more than normal in this one, but I've rambled a lot. We give this film 1.5 stars. Now, I even think that's generous, but it doesn't do too badly in certain categories. So there you go, that's 1.5 stars for House at the End of the Street. Avoid at all costs. Just go to the end of your own street, knock on the door and just hang out with them for an evening. It's a much better idea than watching this film. Yeah, I'm sorry, I feel sad now. Bye.